Well, good morning. Welcome to week 7. Yes, we are on week 7. And just for shits and giggles, we are 210.2. So, after 7 weeks, 5 pounds down. So, which is okay. I did say last week was kind of the ending of last week was kind of meh. My back started messing with me. I had to cut things off early, and all I did over the weekend was kind of rest, and I did some odd and end things like errands and shit, but who cares? We're not here to learn about my personal schedule. What we are here for, hopefully, is to get some more information on what's going on. So today is going to be the first day of chest, back, and shoulders for day 1, week 7. And I think due to the fact that last week my back started giving me issues, and I'm not saying it's 100%, it feels okay, but I will say I woke up and it was a little bit stiff this morning. So what we're gonna do, hang on. Ooh, I had a little bit of sniffles. But what we're gonna do is, the way we're gonna approach this week is we're gonna go back down in weight a little bit. One, to protect my back a little bit more so we can still get a lift in without causing any injury. And 2, due to the fact that we're on a cut, like I said last week, going up in weight should not be a priority. It would be nice to do so, but I think last week I went up too much and overshot it, or overdid it. Overshot it, overdid it, whichever one you choose. But I think that was not the correct thing to do. So we're going to go down a little bit. We're going to control the weight a little bit more, stick with form, try to protect my back, and I've got some tricks up my sleeves for it. I've never been someone that likes to have somebody fix something for me. I prefer to fix it myself, because I tend to always treat myself more correctly in those scenarios. I don't fuck over myself, or I don't drop $3,000 for pain medication and then have to come back next month to pay another $3,000, and so on and so forth. But as far as what I'm going to do for back, the number one thing when your back gets stiff should be the focus of decompression. Dead hangs have always been something that I just throw into my routine almost daily just to keep my back decompressed. And 2, if your back is stiff, depending on what kind of stiffness, but we're more talking about muscle stiffness, you want to really open up your hips. So when people think of back pain, they don't ever really think that their hamstrings are tight, or their quads are tight, or their hip, their hip flexors are tight. They don't ever think about that. They just sit there and work on their back, and then they go and walk around and it gets stiff again. Why? Because it's not your lower back. Your lower back is just what feels it the most. Not always, but that tends to be the issue. It has a little chain reaction. Your calves get tight, then your hamstrings get tight, then your glutes get tight, and the next thing connected to your glutes is your lower back. And then it kind of separates itself off from lower section to upper section. But decompression always helps. And then for hips, my main goal is to get my hips a little bit more opened up. Is to, 1, get into as relaxed of a state as possible. I don't want to be huffing and puffing when I try to stretch my hips. I don't want to be tired. I don't want to be anything like that. I want to be in a nice, relaxed state, which makes stretching a lot easier. Because if you go into it, if your heartbeat's really high and you're sweating and you're huffing and puffing, you can't really focus on getting that muscle to stretch. Because people go, ow, that hurts, okay, I stretched it. It's not how it works. You sit there and you relax and you let that burning sensation go away, and then your hamstrings or your quads or whatever opens up, and it allows everything else to open up as well. So, yeah, I think that's just the way we're going to approach it. We're going to get those hips a little bit more stretched out, and get my back decompressed, and then we're going to work on chest, back, and shoulders, and hopefully have a pretty decent lift. And of course, like I said, we're going to go down and weight just a tad. But along with that whole pill thing, I know it's a sensitive subject for some people. I get it. Some people don't always have the capabilities of being able to get out into the gym or just being able to stretch, just either due to a disability or due to somehow a really lengthy schedule. I don't know how you have a schedule so fucking tight that you can't stretch. You can't stretch for 10 minutes, but whatever. I'm not, I don't live your schedule. You live it however you need, just how you need. But in my mind, my biggest pet peeve is someone going, ow, my shoulder hurts. And their first idea that comes to mind is, I need to go to the doctor to get pain medication. Because they want the pain to go away. No one likes pain. Pain fucking sucks. But it's also kind of a teacher. I know that sounds really old school. But pain can teach you a lot of things about your body. Things that you need to be working on to fix. And the thing is that if you don't hyper focus on what's hurting your body, and you don't ever fix it, and you don't ever get the pain to go away yourself, how do you prevent it from happening later? Why take something that temporarily takes away pain, but you have to live out the rest of your life relying on pain medication just to keep pain away? And then on top of that, you're walking around with a busted back or a busted shoulder, and you're having to adapt to things to actually use that shoulder or use your lower back. Why not, instead of just adapting and forcing yourself to be awkward and uncomfortable all the time and in pain, why not put in a week or two of effort, research a little bit on how to fix it, and go and fix it? There's nothing wrong with getting professional help. If you need professional help, get it. But most of the time, if it's muscle related, and I hate to say it, for a lot of the professionals, you don't exactly need them. They're great for very unique situations, but unless you've got something torn or something seriously wrong, if you've just got muscle stiffness, man, you don't really need a chiropractor that you got to spend $100-$200 a session to fix. It's fucking, just put some of your own effort into it, and you can fix it yourself. And you learn a lot about how your body functions. You learn about its weaknesses. You also learn how to prevent it from happening. So when you do start getting into pain, or you do start noticing something that's a little bit off, you fix it before it even happens. That's where it's at. The goal isn't to fix your problems. Everybody gets their own deck of cards that they're dealt, and you've got to deal with them. You can't really change that. But what you can do is adapt to it and fix it your own way, if that makes sense. And you can't really fix, like, for me, let me, instead of rambling and trying to go for 5 minutes to try to find an example, I'll just give you an example of myself. My lower back has been my weakest point due to my disability. Not disability, I'm not gonna say disability, but I have 2 different size feet, which causes an imbalance. That's what it does, and it causes a chain reaction of everything. So when I originally injured my back, you know what I did? I go, damn, I need pain medication because this pain is ridiculous, and I need to go to a chiropractor. Went to a chiropractor. You know all he did? He just popped my back. That's all he did. And I walked out of that chiropractor still in pain. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? This isn't gonna help. And I fucking gave him $200 just to do that. I was like, well, hell, man, I can learn to pop my own fucking back. I can learn to stretch. That's all you had to tell me. Just tell me I need to stretch, man. But see, they don't tell you stuff. They don't tell you these certain things. They just go, okay, I'm gonna pop your back and you should be good, without any context of why. Why are they doing it? So I went and learned why. I learned why they need to pop my back, why they need to move my hips this way. And that taught me a lot, not only just about the human body, but how mine is functioning to actually adapt with its issue that it has. So what I did was I focused on it, I worked on it. I was in a lot of pain throughout the entire process. I must admit, it's some of the worst pain I've ever had in my life. And I've had it 5 times, and there's been worse ones than others, but every time I fixed it myself with a little bit of help. I made some phone calls and they gave me some advice, but these are good, down-to-earth people that are, they're not here to make money off people that, don't know how to fix themselves. So, and I worked on it, but here's the thing. No matter how much I work on it, there's always going to be a problem. You just have to take care of it. You have to keep it patched up, and and eventually it gets better. Like right now, my back's a little bit inflamed. It does hurt a little bit when I walk, but it's not even pain. It's mainly just stiffness. Just I don't have a lot of mobility looking forward, and you know, blah, blah, blah. But I know the things to do. I know the things to fix it, and I know if I do it correctly, it should be fine. Whoa. Somebody's driving around like this little, like, Android thing. What the? Huh. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it for today. I think I've been rambling long enough. I'm going to get into the gym. One thing before I do go, if anybody out there has seen the past couple of videos where I'm just doing not a lot of voiceover, just doing kind of music in the background and watching me lift, if you guys like that, but want to add something to it, let me know. I know there's not really a lot of people watching right now, but if somebody comes across it, you know, and it only really takes one person for me to take some kind of information in, take some advice. If you guys want something else, or if you guys just want the voiceovers, if you prefer my commentary in the background with the video, a little bit more insight of what's going on, I can go back to doing that too. I can do a little bit of a mix, you know. So, but right now I'm kind of experimenting around. I don't really know what everyone's enjoying. I don't know what we don't like and what we do like. So, so right now I'm just going off what I think I like, what I would like to enjoy watching, and I just do it that way. So, but if we got opinions or a little bit extra input of what could go in or what could come out, well, let me know. We'll go from there. But anyways, I'm gonna get to the lift, and I will see you.
myself, what a wonderful. Trees of green, I see them. What a wonderful world. What a wonderful.
Well, not too bad of a day for the start of week 7. I can't say much has changed. All I can say is that it was a good lift. I think I figured out the adjustments I needed to make. Today was kind of a, of course, do the lift, but also kind of fiddle around with some stuff. I think what we're gonna do from this point, because I'm not exactly losing strength, but I am getting fatigued a lot quicker now, from what I can notice. What we're gonna do is we're gonna keep each muscle group, and we're gonna do 8 to 10 sets per muscle group. So I can either do 2 sets of 4 exercises of my choice per muscle group. So let's say chest, I can either do 4 exercises of like two sets, maybe throw in a third on one of the exercises, or like we did today, I picked 2 exercises from the normal lift, and what I did was I said, I'm gonna do 4 sets. I'm gonna do 4 sets of whatever I can. So we did, for example, we did incline dumbbell, and we did 4 sets of just boom, 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 and then we went straight to flat press, 4 sets, boom, 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 and that was 8 sets. And so by the end of the week, we'll have, close to 25 sets for each muscle group, roughly throughout the week. And that still is a little high, so, but we're just working with that and then kind of adjusting from there. But I will say it worked out really well. I still got pretty fatigued, but I mean, guys, it is the gym. You're not supposed to be walking out and in like a really, like if you're not walking out and you're like, whew, you didn't kind of do it. So, but I also don't want to completely, absolutely burn myself out during the first exercise and not be able to do anything else for the lift. Now, I'm not saying give yourself a cutoff so you can save later for the lift. That's not how that works. But you do have to know your limits. You have to push your limits without, exceeding. Well, not exceeding, but almost, you can push your limits without blowing a head gasket. Does that make sense? Where you're not completely broken down on the side of the road, but you're kind of, the car makes it, but the car's like, okay, I'm done for the day, no more. Does that make sense? I don't know. If that makes sense, it makes sense. If not, well, sorry. Oh well. But it was a good lift. We changed it up with shoulders. We did change it up with shoulders. The only reason why is because, like I said before, if you did not watch the car talk, I did say that my back is not injured, but it is a little bit sensitive. I will say it's a little stiff. So, and normally we do an overhead military press, and I think that does put a little bit of pressure on my back, and I'm trying to keep it from being compressed right now. So we switched it up with cable side raises, which I haven't shown before, but I do randomly throw those in just because it's a great way to quickly burn out your shoulders. So, but with that said, let's do a little bit of posing, see how we're starting off for week 6. And then I'm curious if you guys can see the difference in my lower back, because it looks a lot flatter because it's stiff. I'm curious if that's gonna pop up or not. If you guys don't notice, you don't notice. Oh well, too bad. But it's definitely something that I've noticed this morning. So, okay, sorry, I had to adjust the hair a little bit. It's a little bit poofy. So, isn't it weird? I'm not wearing a hat today. I just, just felt like having my hair out today. Got a nice little haircut, so figured anyways, who cares? Not a big deal. All right, so we're gonna do a most muscular first. I don't know what that was, but just trying it out. All right, to the side. Other side. Oh. All right, do a little lat spread. The lat spread was a little uncomfortable. Like I said, my back's kind of, and can y'all see it a little bit? It's kind of doing that. Oh. But I did decompress it. I did try to be careful with it as much as I could. It's definitely a little inflamed, but it's okay right now. Most of the time, the first day when my back's giving me an issue, that's not the day I'm worried about. It's always the second day. The second day I always wake up and I'll know if I need to take off or not. So this week may be a little bit weird, but I am just trying to protect my back. But if I can lift, I'm gonna lift. That's what we're gonna do. So just, you know, gotta keep an eye, just be careful. But as far as changes, not that much change. Yeah, not that much, I gotta say, which is okay. It's okay. Not every day you're gonna get changes. Some days you're just gonna have the same effect, which is okay, as long as we're moving. We did wake up 210 again today, so this is the start of week 7, so as of right now, we're a pound behind. But let's see what happens after we make some adjustments and go from there. I still feel great. I still, you know, the lifts are going great, which is nice. Making tiny tweaks as you go. And this is all part of the learning process. You make tiny little tweaks to stuff that works for you. And sometimes they're only temporary. Sometimes they're only temporary tweaks where, you know, you only do the adjustment for a week just to kind of get things back in the groove, and then you go back to whatever. Or you learn something and you learn that, well, this works better than this, so we're gonna go and do that instead. So that is part of instinctive training. That is part of being hyper-focused on how your body reacts to things, and that's super, super important. So, and also one more thing before I go. I know I said it in the car talk, but I do know, you know, people skip past that. You know, like I said, I've skipped past it before, watching videos that kind of do the similar thing that I do. Not saying they're copying me, if anything, I'm copying them, but whatever. It gets the point across. But do you guys prefer voiceover, like as I'm lifting, just a voiceover, or are we just enjoying watching me lift with kind of talks in between, you know, before the lift and after the lift? Or we want a little bit of both? Are we wanting some, you know, some kind of background noise with a little bit of me talking, just with like little tips and tricks and stuff? I mean, I'm kind of curious what's going on. Obviously not a lot of people are watching these videos, which is fine. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to be famous or anything. I'm just here to, you know, kind of give my experience and try to help. But if it does help you guys learn, or there's something else that you guys enjoy, so that way, you know, we're both getting benefits here, let me know. If you don't let me know, that's fine. I'm going to experiment in a way that I think that I like, if that makes sense. So, but either way, the focus, my main focus is not how the videos perform. I'm more, right now, I'm focused on how the gym's going and trying to get more results. So, tomorrow is quads and triceps. And hopefully let's see how tomorrow goes. We're gonna make the same adjustment. And besides legs, the quad side of things, we are still going to do 3 exercises. So honestly, quads and biceps won't change much. Maybe just the weight and the rep range, just the rep range is going to change up a little bit. All right. So I will see you guys later, and well, see you tomorrow.